Alrighty, it is 9 p.m. All the games just finished. 2 sets played today. It is wonderful. I'm joined by Brian.
Hello.
And we are going to start off by talking about the side event. This is 7U. Gen 1 7U. It is a tier of the bottom of the barrel. And I will let this play. Brian, you can tell the people all about it.
Yes. We were looking at fun side events to do, like maybe in the beginning of the season. And 7U came up as an actual real event that people play. I was shocked out of my mind. It's a theoretical bracket of I don't even know, the 7th lowest tier in Gen 1 if it was to exist. And consists of basically 20 Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it's once all of the psychic types are banned.
Yeah.
Then this is who's left.
It's actually pretty fun. I have played a few matches. You're going to see a lot of Meowth and Tentacool because those are the top tiers.
Yeah.
Charmeleon and Ivysaur up there too. You're seeing Ivysaur coming right now.
Yeah, here he comes.
But the star of the show is just Gen 1 mechanics in general. Mons that get moves like Slash and Psychic and T-Wave are generally pretty good. So that's why... Oh, and for Tentacool, Hydro Pump. Or Surf if you want to be a little safer.
Surf, yeah. Who wants to
early
hit?
on, I noticed Dante here attempted to go for Counter. And just for anybody playing Gen 1, Counter sucks.
Yeah.
It's a necessary evil, but it is terrible. It literally only reflects back normal and fighting moves. That's it. Nothing else. Not physical moves, just normal moves. And the 2 fighting moves that exist.
Yeah, it's like submission and... I don't even know,
Might be sure it's
Choppy down here, Mankey or something.
Yeah, Karate Chop, that doesn't work right. It's weird.
I think Karate Chop's a normal move in Gen 1.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Gen 1's funny, but this ended up being a pretty good game here. I think both Dante and Tim were... oh, look at this Mega Drain
Yeah,
crit.
super crit. Goodbye, Reinhardt.
That. Yeah. They definitely brought a lot of the same Mons, and that's to be expected. I'm assuming both players went in and picked a pre-built team that had already happened for the big 7U tournament beforehand. Not by us, by some people that made this tier up, those maniacs. But right here, we're looking at a lot of Hyper Beams. Hyper Beam in Gen 1 will only... you'll recharge unless you kill them on.
Yeah.
So you do need to actually kill them on, both Tim and Dante, something to think of for... the many, many times they'll play this format in the future.
Yes.
But coming in here, we got a little lizard coming in as the endgame cleaner.
Is this literally the same teams across the board? No.
No. It's a little different because they look the same, but they're actually different movesets.
They do. Yeah, Dante has a Clefairy.
Yeah, he does have a Clefairy, and I believe his Meowth is actually different than Tim's Meowth.
Yeah, I saw Body Slam.
Yeah, Body Slam and Slash. You might carry both, but you don't have to. You do have a sub Rhyhorn here.
Yeah. Just like Big Bro.
Yeah,
and at this point, that's
Razor
that.
threw me off when I first saw it, Matt, because I really thought he hit Leaf Storm in general with that animation.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we'll go through this game kind of quick. Just because, you're going to see a lot of the same guys, a lot of Gen 1 funny mechanics. That crit was very unfortunate. Another one, that one probably didn't matter. Here's Grimer.
Okay, don't send your Rhyhorn in against Tentacool, just a heads up. Also, Thunder Grimer's hysterical. I don't know when he picked that up, but look at this guy dropping Thunders.
Boom, get the para, easy. Slurp the souls. Probably should have went for another Thunder.
Probably, but he could have also just been going for Sludge, because his attack stat is way higher than his special, and Tentacool's special is ridiculously high.
Yeah, but I know poison resists poison, so I understand not doing that.
Yeah, no, I totally get the thundering there. He could have been calling a Rhyhorn switch. Unfortunate miss on that Blizzard. Would have been really nice.
Yeah.
Gets it here. We did
I
see
think with recoil, it probably would have went down.
Yeah. Gen 1 Blizzard actually is 90% accurate, so we saw 3 of them miss already this set.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stupid. Oh, it's absolutely stupid. Should not be.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta say, just watching Golbat being the only fully evolved thing here, it's very bad.
It's not good.
Even down here.
So oh, counter hit. Sorry, I forgot. That's the hype moment right there.
That was it.
And then Charmeleon trying his best to win this set.
He was really doing it, but at that point,
But no, Tim played a good set, brought a good team. It seemed like they had fun too, which was the most important part for a side event.
It is the most important thing. Because if we're going to talk about not having fun, as a spectator, this game was not a lot of fun.
I was in the chat for this game, this set of Gen 5, and I think it was less We can play. We don't need to. We can just play this.
There's not a lot of commentary that needs to be made. Here.
I will just say I liked both teams at the start. I love this Nidoqueen Dragon Tail turn 1. I think Aaron forgot his Snorlax didn't have a dark move to hit Mismagius here, and then misclicked, brought it in again, and at that point had already given up the game.
Yeah.
So he subbed it out. The right place, subbing in his Rose. However, I think in the future, Aaron, don't sub a Rose onto a Calm Mind Mismagius because that thing literally cannot break its sub. Nothing it can do can break it.
No, nothing on this team can really handle it besides, having a crunch on Lax.
Right, and so right there, the misclick right there of bringing Snorlax in, kind of sealed his fate. But at the same time, he did have.
Honestly, I don't hate it.
What?
Like just going to the Snorlax, like HP fighting and all that, switching in on Shadow Balls and shit.
Oh,
like
sure,
I get it, but
you at least have to pretend that you have
at this
crunch.
point, it's yeah.
There is actually one still play here, I think.
It's Great Draco.
I thought this was gonna be Waterfall Kingdra. I was about to be really excited. I thought they said we have a game.
Yeah,
but it was not.
No, it was not. So everything is going to die.
Everything dies, yeah.
And
oh, sorry. It was a few turns ago. Aaron did give up this turn, like turn 10. He still could have brought in Nidoqueen and hit Dragon Tail to sub out and have maybe 4 out of 6 Mons left with like a Nidoqueen low. And I know it looks bad, but you can still make a comeback.
It is bad. We're not going to watch it.
No, we don't have to watch it.
Yeah, we don't have to watch it. So,
I guess I'll talk more about the teams. I know Aaron's better than this. He said this was just a bad day for him, and I completely agree. He is better than this.
Yes.
Mentally, you're just down now. I get it.
Yeah.
However, on Adam's team here, we did have a screens hyper offense Azelf, one of his, I guess, favorite things to do. And his favorite setup sweeper in Scrafty, as well as Nasty Plot Porygon Z behind screen. So that was his kind of thought process.
Yeah, so this is just like a big HO. And honestly, every time Nidoqueen has clicked Dragon Tail, it has just gotten the worst thing ever.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, yes. And we talked about this before, too. Like, just in the set about how bad the Nidoqueen's Dragon Tail's switch-ins were.
Yeah.
And at this point, if I'm Aaron, and there's a bulk up Scrafty on the screen, and you still have that Nidoqueen, get that thing in.
Get it.
There's no reason not to get that thing in. It can take a Drain Punch, it can take a Crunch, it can Dragon Tail, the game can continue. But by not doing that, you're single-handedly sacking all the rest of your Mons. Even though I get wanting to bring in your big special attacker on the bulk up Mon. It's Scrafty behind screens. It's just too strong.
Yeah, I also don't quite understand coming into Scald. It's like that's
He's already paralyzed.
It's already paralyzed. Like it's not going to do anything. And then here we are back in the same situation. Again, not Dragon Tailing.
And sometimes I like to say to myself when I'm making a lot of mistakes in a match, there's always a chance to just stop making the mistakes, right? You just say cut your losses. I'm gonna start doing better this turn onward. And we've seen a couple sets in these past PRs. People come back from what looks to be catastrophic beginnings just because they've refocused in the middle of a set. And they regressed when they needed to. And I can't believe Scrafty lived that Draco and got back.
Honestly, me too. That's because Kingdra is bad.
Kingdra's bad, etc., etc.
Fucking sucks. So at this point, again, like, not being able to hit Hydro Pump.
He's not even trying anymore. He's missing his Hydro Pumps.
Yeah, so Kingdra is a bastard. He is an enemy of the state. And by the state, I mean our team.
But I want Aaron to come back next week and show me some of the sauce I know he can do. So I'm excited to see what he's got. This was not his best day. He can, but tomorrow's a new day.
Yes, new week and everything. So we got Little Cup, and I am a known Little Cup hater, but this set was pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. This set was fuego.
So I know Ethan brought this team. Ethan brought this team week 1.
Yeah, this is definitely the week 1 Ethan team. As for Drew, I don't remember if he brought this team in the previous week. He played Little Cup. But he does love his Slowpoke, and well, it's not actually him.
Yes.
I do like hiding it with extra sensory, though. I think that's funny in the future. And hey, look at that. It's more Zoroark moment.
Yeah, now it's the funny guys doing funny guy things.
I think whenever you see in Little Cup, in this series of Little Cup, right, you see Zoroark on your team, or on your enemy's team, right? Hit dark moves until you know where it is. Don't hit ghost moves, don't hit fighting moves, don't hit normal moves. Just hit dark moves. You'll find it eventually, and then you can play around it.
But just
Huge
get
knockoff
any
there on
form
the
of
Secret Sauce.
hazards, and all that.
Yeah, and hazards, of course. Yeah, but we're not seeing a lot of hazards on these two. What we are seeing, though, is a really, really cool sturdy Magnemite, which nobody has brought yet. I think mainly because Diglett was not banned for the first few weeks.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason.
I think he's extremely good now. I mean, granted, it does require you not to have hazards, or at least have hazard control.
Yeah.
But luckily, Toad School, one of the best mons in the game in Little Cup. So, but now we're watching Honesty, where it's going a little too fast here, doing what it does best.
He's just doing a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. But I do not believe that Flare Blitz crit mattered.
No, absolutely not.
Naughty Violite doesn't matter. And we're at a 3v2. It looks like having a lead here, but this Strudel, which is not a Strudel, my apologies. I even fell for it here.
Yeah.
But Strudel is incredible. Copycat Gaming goes incredibly hard.
Yeah. I think the one thing I've noticed, like, especially in all of Ethan's sets, and it's not like anything against him, I feel like everybody just brings sleep versus him.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to play around it super well, and like it's definitely something I've seen him struggle with a little bit, but he's doing better.
Wake up Copycat Thunderbolt, and if Strudel had any special attacking stat, this could have won. So I get the knockoff here. I do get it.
You had to.
You kind of had to. And then it's a good 1-0. And to note, having a sleep switch in on, at least in Gen 9, knowing like which mons to put to bed, that is something you learn over time for sure.
Yeah. It's just like positioning. It's like I still think like, if you're going to have somebody go to bed, looking at like Drew's team, especially with like Toad's cooldown and like the crab, right? Once the crab is down, it's like little Toxapex isn't really going to help much. Like when everything he's checking is gone, he's a pretty good sleep fodder.
Yeah.
Because like Slowpoke will beat it with Psychic. Azurua's probably going to break it down. And then Magnemite, of course.
Magnemite's going to nuke it from the orbit, yeah.
Yeah.
Game 2, we have a funny doggo matchup. Dog versus dog.
But Ethan has brought the better dog. There is a new King of Little Cup. It is its Growlithe.
It is.
Everybody needs to use it. It's broken. It should be on every team.
Right. I completely agree. And the only thing that might have made it a little less broken is if this Growlithe was Flash Fire, but he was Intimidate. So because of that, you are safe to lock into either Head Smash or Flare Blitz on this turn and going for Head Smash.
And you can get a kill.
Yes.
And it is great.
Looking at Drew's team, I get using Froakie for Protean. It's funny. But Frokie's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not great.
But one day maybe he'll be good. But there's just a lot of good water types in Little Cup. Surskit's still being one of them, actually. Still getting his usage. And, you got your, what's that funny duck? Everyone knows the dancing duck.
Quaxley.
Yeah, we got little Quaxley out there. So Frokie's definitely struggling to find his place still. And we do finally get Rocks up. Turn 9. We love to see it.
Yeah. And then we get Webs,
And we get Webs up turn 10, which even better.
Good for my hazard-loving heart. And then here we go again. Which we will later see that it's not the end of the world for Surskit.
Surskit does a lot of good here. Here goes Mudbrain to a Giga Drain, though. This was a questionable switch in when you have Nimble on the field, or even
quick heavy slam.
The Arcanine takes the hit, right? Like it's just a Fungus. It doesn't hit that hard.
Yeah.
But stacking your best physical wall left. I mean, I know there's not a lot it scares, but it can stop the Magnemite from hitting Volt Switch for free, and that's big.
Yeah. Also, I don't know what Nimble does. He's just bad.
No, that's not true. Nimble's very good.
Is he really?
He's just not good into Fungus. Nimble is a legitimately good mon. Stab first impression, knockoff, U-turn. He's a very good killer pivot, but just not at that moment. I was really scared that Nimble was going to do a sweep at the end of here.
That's funny.
If he didn't just die. There's like a whole Smogon write-up about Nimble. This is before the Arcanine. Little Growl Hisuian made the field, but like he was on a lot of teams. He was like top 10 usage.
Oh shit.
I never used him once, but I can see it. Now, by the way, we're getting to the end of this game here. I thought this game was over.
I thought this game was over forever ago.
And then that Froakie did 28% with the U-turn that went Lamau. He's going to lose to Giga Drain.
And now all of a sudden, it's Giga Drain time.
Yeah.
And these moves are bouncing off, and he just keeps slurping.
Keeps getting so much HP back, because thank you, Shellos, for having a lot of HP, actually.
Yeah.
And big crit there. Did it matter? Probably not.
Nah, it's like roll.
Maybe
who's to say, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter.
it didn't matter because the little guy does it, and we love to see a win for the little guy. By the way, I've never seen a Giga Drain Surskit win a game of Little Cup in my life, so this was really cool to see.
I've never seen Giga Drain Surskit in my life anyway, guys, because again, I don't really know enough about Little Cup to really give accurate depictions.
But be around at the end of the game.
Yeah, he's usually not there, so.
But now we're in game 3, and Drew bringing a completely different team, and I think Ethan's back to his first team, right?
He brought the first team back, and like just looking at team preview, like the fact that there hasn't been a Pawniard in any of the games yet, it's a big red flag for me. Because I'm looking at Pawniard, I'm looking at Ethan's team, and I'm just looking at Crabrawler. If he goes down, nothing is gonna stop him.
Oh, absolutely. At best,
without having to to Terra.
Yeah, you're at best to Terra something to get it off the field, yeah. But that being said, we do have the Pawniard Zoro combo, and those two really good. I do like this Crabrawler lead because your opponent wants to lead Glimmet, and now Glimmet's just dead weight.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, you got your hazards up, but there's a poison type on the opponent field, and there's no spinner, so the rocks are big. I do like that, at least from Drew's side. Now, this is cool. Drifloon does beat Crabrawler.
Yeah.
It always will. It can live the Ice Punch.
And then
it can Acro kill it. And now it's super fast with Unburden, Willow, Shadow Ball. Mm-hmm. However, Ethan doing the right play and bringing the real Toxapex. I mean, I don't remember this little thing's name. Marini.
That's Baby Toxapex. That is his name.
The counter to Drifloon, which is why he fell off a lot. But then all of a sudden, Acrobatics kills twice. So I don't know anymore.
Who's to say, truly? And then that Shadow Ball really didn't do a lot of damage.
No, I actually thought that was going to be Zoro coming in and eating the Shadow Ball.
I did too.
Right?
I really did.
Now here's the thing that Drew didn't. I thought Drew had thrown this game right here.
Yeah, me too.
Never, ever send your Pawniard in on a Ghost type. Who knows?
Not in Terraland.
Yeah, in Terraland, you always protect it. You want to SD, Terra your Pawniard and hit SD. Like, you got to protect your dude from the fighting types. If you know they still have their Terra in the back, just don't send your Pawniard in.
Especially when you have it too. So, all right. Right here, this is an important time. So,
yes.
Ethan has himself in almost like a checkmate position with Zorua still.
Correct.
And it's just a matter of it having to get on the field and put everything in a position where Larvesta can clean up, or you can break enough holes with it.
Mm-hmm. So Larvesta can't clean up more than once, but that's all it needs to do. That's all it needs to do.
Yeah. So Strudel has done his job at this point, and it's also in a very unique situation with Copycat. It would then be able to copy Extra Sensory, which is super cool, and that's what we're going to see.
And that just killed. At first, I'm like, that kills?
Yeah.
But, when you lose your knockoff of Violet, all of a sudden you're just,
Yeah.
Even with the 9 special attack it has, like, no, that's enough to kill.
It's incredibly low. So even now, we're at a point where it's like, all right, get rid of this Eviolite, let Zorua go to work. Especially if it had Hex, which I don't think it did. Hex with T-Spikes is devastating at this point in the game.
Yeah. But
going for U-turn into this guy, let alone a fire type into a water type.
Yeah, I'm not...
Definitely...
I think it's a beginner brain off moment.
Yeah.
Where it's hard to play perfect Pokemon, especially over 3 game sets. Because at this point, I was thinking the same thing. Oh my god, this Larvesta wins.
Yes.
But now he doesn't.
Now he does not know.
And he can't switch out because he's dead on switching.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And now there's still that Mudbray who can definitely take some hits.
Yeah.
And then you have the dead weight Strudel in the back. And now this Quaxley has gotten a boost. It's faster. And now you have to take unnecessary damage on literally your only thing you have that can win. And then, again, showing the Shadow Ball over... Hex, which, I get for having Sinistea on the team, too.
Yeah, he's doing the nasty plot set. It's not a bad set. I'm not going to fault him for running Shadow Ball.
For sure, yeah.
But, subbing Larvesta in at the wrong time on the water type was just a really, unfortunately, bad play.
Yeah.
And it's not that he played bad the rest of the set. I actually had nothing bad to say about Ethan's play up till that point. It was very good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's got a good handle, a Little Cup, but sometimes you just make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's something you learn through. Mm-hmm. And still, it's a great set. So I don't want him to come out of this thinking it wasn't a good time for everybody.
We all make boneheaded plays. This is, We all do it.
We have an emote called Atom Brain for a reason, so don't worry.
Yes. So really, the only thing here is a good thing in singles to know and understand is knowing when to let something die. Because, Pokemon, they're our friends. We don't want them to get knocked out. But in certain situations, you need to let things die out. And I see that a lot in a lot of newer players where they want to keep as many of their guys alive. Because in the end of the day, your mon count, it doesn't matter. As long as you get the win, you can have one guy left on 1 HP, but you can have 6 guys left. It doesn't matter. A win's a win.
Right.
So just understanding when to kind of let something go is really important. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that. It would have been really cool if Ethan pulled that game out, but
No way, we got Mudbray actually getting a win for once. Let's talk about how cool that is.
Yeah. Now, if we're gonna talk about cool, this is not the game for you. But Brian, you can. I
mean, Amphi's here.
Amphi is here, but Amphi's not gonna be here.
Yeah. I think Chris made this team. I don't think it was one of your teams. I think it was just him trying out all the new guys effectively. However, look at these Ceaseless Edges doing so much to Bubble Buddy that I literally cannot hit Z Water into it. I don't have time. I just die in 3 hits. So that's cool.
It's great.
Anyways, here's Mew.
Yeah.
I was willing to let this Mew take a hit with Cosmic Power this turn.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't hit Ceaseless Edge on me that turn.
Me too. That's kind of why I haven't paused. It's with the webs up and everything, it's sometimes you just go, I gotta get rid of him. You look at, looking at your team, Samurot's done his job.
Oh, yeah. Well, not exactly, but yes.
There's not much more for him to really do at this point, unless you could get a huge chunk on this Mew, which, looking at this team would be very nice, because then you could bring in Arcanine and get a big hit in.
I really can't fault him for not knowing what Mew is, though, because Mew is, especially with how I like to use Mew, this Mon is stupidly good at doing everything. You don't know what set he's going to run until it hits the field anyways and starts doing it. In this case, it is the cringe Cosmic Power Stored Power set. And Chris, being new to Pokemon, I don't blame him for not knowing how to deal with it right off the bat. First of all, this body press at 64. Everybody laugh at Mew. He's not strong.
No.
But, and I do like this lead sheet. This was really cool. But then he sacked Ferrothorn here. And I get it. Maybe trying to get Body Slam Leech Seed. He doesn't know about the Roost yet. This is just a lot of, that's the thing with Nat decks. There's so much going on, it's hard to know what to do at all times.
Yeah.
Which makes it, in my opinion, a fun format to try new things in for everybody out there. Don't be afraid to try something that may look stupid. I'm running Deoxys Defense, for Christ's sake.
You say that he's not a perennial Uber, yet for some reason he's just banned from RU. Fun fact.
Nat decks RU. Look at that. RUBL moment.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, right? He's a perennial Uber. That means if he is considered to not be Ubers anymore and anything else really that's been dropped really low similarly, they're still going to have their use. This meta is so diverse, and Terra on top of it all, there's just so much that can be done. Don't be afraid to experiment a little bit.
Yeah, it's just the clusterfuck.
Here, Mew is just going to sweep up. We're not going to talk about it. The team itself was very cool on my end. I did show it to everybody by now. A lot of technology went into not losing the Garganackle and not losing to Goldango on this team, but we didn't see either of them, so.
No. Yeah.
So good thing, we'll see him in this game instead.
Yeah, but Goldango is here. Yeah, so.
Goldango's here.
I'm going to let this one play. So, Brian, I'm looking at your team.
Oh, yeah.
And I see Tricker, and I also am like, what the fuck?
Honestly, I forgot how many of these self moves that I run don't affect Goldango, because I thought they'd be affecting the field and not him. There was an Octolock and a Topsy-Turvy on this team, and I went, they both don't work on Goldango. Well, now I'm sad. So I brought my own Goldango, and then I threw him into a Shadow Ball and went, oh my god, that did 64. The main problem with my team is it doesn't have Shadow Sneak on that Aegislash, and that's not good. You should run Shadow Sneak.
Unless you're special.
Which it was, actually.
Then yeah, you can't. You can't fault yourself on that one.
It was mixed. I don't know. I'm figuring out Goldango. Jesus, I'm calling him Goldango. I'm figuring out Aegislash. I think he's a really cool mon. I think more people should try to use him.
Very, very good.
He's been in Ubers. Like you said, he was also an Ubers mon that dropped this 2 gens ago now, I think, or a gen ago.
Yeah. I mean, they literally nerfed him, so.
I know. I was talking about that. I'm like, did you know they literally nerfed this guy? I was looking it up. I went, no way.
I mean, it's really for the best. He was kind of overpowered.
He was a mess. Yeah, he was an absolute mess. Now we're going to see some stance changing. Speaking of which, that does 22 because I am fully special defensive. That's
yeah. I'm gonna level with you. I don't know if this is a good set you got going on with this guy.
No. I think it would have won me the game if I played it right. Like, I don't know, turn 24. We'll see it come up.
Yeah. Do you have Toxic?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to run Toxic. I wanted to run Gyro Ball in close combat. I really wanted to be cool.
Shadow Ball.
It was Shadow Ball because again, there is no recommended set, so I was trying to tune something here.
You were up to something.
Yeah, I think I would take off Gyro Ball and just run either Shadow Sneak or Toxic in the future.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna do like a specially
also,
defensive.
I like getting our lefties here in our 6 turns.
Anyway, there's some shit happening. I'm gonna kind of skip until there we go.
Now
we got the next guy in.
He figured out. He looked up and said, "Oh, T-Wave can break King Shield. That's cool." And I went to sack my Marmalade, and it died.
He did his job.
And now Tusk is here, and my Tusk counter is here, so we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
So he Terra Watered, I Terra Flying. That's a certified flying.
I don't know why he Terra Watered.
I don't know either, honestly. I thought maybe he was gonna hit me with Liquidation or something weird. Like, I don't think he gets it, but like, or Terra Water Blast.
He is just an elephant.
Yeah, it was an odd Terra, but I know I needed to do my Terra, otherwise I was.
Yeah, otherwise you were getting deleted.
And this Jenga time here, this is a cool mon. I know he's like a little passive quote.
No, Tekka is no. He's good.
But I really enjoyed using him, and I highly recommend people putting him on a real team that doesn't include a defensive wishy-washy that doesn't have any special attacking stat.
Yeah,
I think this team with the right EV spread does the work, Matt.
I think if you ran either offensive Aegislash or offensive Wishy-Washy, we wouldn't be on turn 24 with nothing have happened so far.
Yeah, no, by the way, did you know Tusk takes like 30 from a Gyro Ball, even though I'm at 7 or like 14 speed at this point?
Yeah. Also, Clodsire just deleted.
Yeah, Claude takes 100, though. That was not a damage roll. He just died.
Yeah.
And Chris stalling out Trick Room, very smart.
Very smart, yeah.
And getting this
one up a little bit.
Yeah, getting this 2.5 times defense now and putting Tusk back in doesn't do anything. So I put the Trick Room back up. And here I make...
Here you get full parried.
Yeah, I finally get full parried for like the first time, but look at Monkey taking that hit. And
a nice little crit, too.
So pause it here, right? So this Earthquake, everybody knows, grassy terrain reduces Earthquake damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still think this was actually the strongest move I had at that time. I do want to say
I feel like Gyro Ball.
I think it was very close, but they weren't going to kill. Neither move was going to kill this Goldango, so I just hit Earthquake. And it did 30, which was kind of pathetic. And then he
gets the kill.
Here's the turn, 32. This was Aegislash. I forgot I had Trick Room up. I went into Wishy-Washy to take a hit. Thought I could kill a Scald. No special attack investment means he does not kill, and the game is over.
Yeah. And now, all of a sudden,
bad mod.
Look at this guy.
Look at this guy. Look at Goldango doing what he does best. Also, we can fast it here. This is about 4 turns of paralysis. Where I should have been switching out. Poor Wishy-Washy.
Yeah, this is God punishing this creation that you made.
I like this team. I actually think I'd run it again.
Yeah?
I mean,
like, tweak. You gotta tweak some of the Johns for sure.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no. I'm tweaking it like right now as we talk about it. But
yeah,
Goldango sweep, and he's a good mon. And
I just
wanted to show that you can't encore that. I said here we'll do it anyways just for fun because the speed up does 8. So yeah, when you have 3 mons that all lose to good as gold, what does that mean? That means Goldango's a good mon, and you should probably use him.
That means that Goldango is good, and your team is not.
Yeah. Oh, well, we tried. We almost got him. We were close. I just misplayed turn 32, and that's why we have a game 3 here.
Anyway, the Pikachu being here is not the surprise.
Bro, I messed up turn 1. I meant to bring Pikachu, and I misclicked my lead because I was going to sub-encore the sticky web.
Oh,
well. We did it anyways. Just had to take a turn to do it.
Yeah.
And it turns out Claude destroys Pikachu and is very common, so that's a little sad.
Yeah, turns out Pikachu, not great.
But why did we put Pikachu on a team? Because it's at decks, and we wanted to have some fun. So we put Pikachu on a team, we put Celesteela on a team, we put Bouffalant on a team, and said those are the 3 fun mons. We got to back him up with 3 real mons, so we put the other 3 on there.
Something like that.
This was a free ball team. We said, all right, guys, who are we putting on the team? And Will said, put Pikachu on the team.
I don't believe that.
He did, because we were looking at all the OUs, and all the Pikachu hats are still on the OU section. Also, look at Rotom Wash. What a Chad.
Dude,
he is died of that solo beam.
He is
him. He is he.
Also, one thing,
because that was the only threat besides this to Celesteela. So we got 1 down, and special defensive guard.
Yeah. I still think like you have to click Eruption.
Yeah, I was about to say special defensive guard doesn't like the Eruption, but at least he doesn't take 7 from it. He takes like 40 in the sun.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate, and like I don't have a fire resist. That's the number 2 thing, right? Like I do, but it's Garganacl, who doesn't like the ghost move anyway, so just hit the Eruption.
Yeah. So when this happened, I was at work, and I was like, why the fuck did you just sub in your Scizor on a fire type? And then I remembered, oh, Weather Ball.
Hey,
Sun's gone anyway, Bullet Punch kills. But it's also kind of funny, because like, you know, Weather Ball is the strongest move that Charizard gets for the Sun. Yeah. But I actually just would rather have Flamethrower.
I would too. I well, maybe not Flamethrower, but like if I'm running a fire move, I want to run Flamethrower or Fire Blast for sure. Yeah. Chris did not know about the Meteor Beam. I'm not sure.
No, he did not know.
Yeah, hold on, I'm getting a Discord call. Sorry about this. Okay, we're deleting that for now. And also doesn't have any more counters to the Celesteela on his team, so he does kind of get cleaned up the minute Typhlosion lost.
Yeah.
And this is a good set. I want people to run the Celesteela set more often, or at least Autotomize in general. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Celesteela is very good.
It doesn't have to be a defensive wall. You can do this.
Yeah.
You can fast at this point because now Claude and Celesteela sit for, he can't touch me, just skip it ahead. But I do want to say Chris did really good. He definitely got tricked by just not. We finally got the burn. There we go.
Yeah. You just give it.
He just doesn't have the experience of all these different runs. So like for how well he did learning on the fly, I have to give him credit. He really pushed me up there, especially on the game 2. He did
game
a nice
2, like even if it wasn't the the strongest team, but like he played it well. He positioned himself as well as he knew how to, and it worked out. So. Got to give the credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, you were going to get Brian Hept once. It will happen to you. It's happened to me.
We had a couple friendlies afterwards. I got a Buzzwole sweep. It was great. Yeah. All right, but now we're back on to...
now it's time for
doubles.
Mono Fire versus Mono Ice in doubles.
Song of Fire and Ice for sure.
I don't know much about... odds because I gave up sports gambling for New Year's resolution a couple years ago.
Oh, very nice.
But
very nice.
I don't think that Ice has a very good matchup here. What do you think?
No, and especially when you put your Abomasnow in turn 1 when you know that Torkoal's going to be there.
Yeah.
So this is definitely not the winning matchup, and I told Will when I gave him this Ice team because Will doesn't seem to like doubles, and I get it. Doubles is really weird. Selakbear, though, was his idea. It's very funny.
That is funny.
Because it is weird building for monotype doubles, because you're not really building a team. You're building, like...
You're just putting 6 dudes on the team and kind of hoping that you run into a good type.
Right. And I said Fire's the only one that really handles this Ice team. You can handle Fighting, Steel, the rest, whatever, but you can't beat Fire. And, yeah, we're kind of seeing it now. And that's just going to happen. Sometimes you get matchup checked. And it's been happening to us a lot this season, but Will is one of the guys that's been able to fight through it anyways. But this is probably not the one... Because, oh my goodness, that Ice Spinner did not kill that little thing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And now we get to see Kaboom die, and yeah, this is not enough for the little...
And, Big Bundy cannot... he can't pull this one out.
Well, came out anyways to begin with, so the game is over. But it was, you know, sometimes you get matchup checked. Will already knows he shouldn't put his Abomasnow in turn 1 anyways on some team, but... And that's the game. But the other 2 games that came in afterwards were a lot more competitive, and that's because they were more neutral matchups, so they were fun.
Yeah, I mean, here's an exact opposite. So
David really did bring Monograss.
He did bring Monograss.
I think Monograss does have the sauce, but oh my god, if you're going to build a team around Electro Hisuian, Like, you gotta have some ideas in there because that's not a good mon, unfortunately.
Listen, yeah. So just to kind of let it go for a bit here.
Yeah.
If you're making mono grass without a Mungus, you are making a bad team. I don't
I
care
think, you know,
that
that
he's
works for
not
mono
cool.
poison, too.
You need to have him. He needs to be
Oh.
there. He needs
Matt,
to be there.
did you know the secret sauce behind Will's team on this? Which is also a big reason why David couldn't handle this team.
They're good mons, and they're all friends.
It is 6 banded spec scarf mons. I think it's 3 banded, 2 specs, 1 scarf.
All choiced?
All choiced.
Nice, I love that.
That is banded Flapple right there, killing with U-turn. Very funny.
I love that.
And if your team is not a BST crazy team, which Grass unfortunately is not,
Yeah,
they're kind of going to get smoked.
Yeah.
So that is why everything is killing or doing 90-something% all the time.
Yeah.
A curious muddy water there by Gudra. I'm not sure why he hit that.
That triple arrows animation was cool as hell, by the way.
Oh, you know it's 1,000 arrows animation?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's why
sense.
that is why it is cool.
Again, I don't get throwing away leaves like that. You know?
No, it's this game's over. That is.
I mean, I know it's over, but like, I still wouldn't have tried to do that. Also,
I believe it's banded Decidueye. I couldn't remember. He just wanted to Shadow Sneak. Yeah, I believe that was banded.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the Shadow Sneak didn't kill Dragonite, bro. That's Dragonite.
Yeah. Oh, just to kind of again, like looking at teams. I harp on this every week, but I have to continue doing it.
Oh.
Click protect in doubles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you think it's cringe. It is the best move in the game. Use it. If you are not using it, you are actively making your team worse, and you have to play out of your mind to make up for it when you can just click a button and alleviate half of your stress.
Yeah, or you're being silly like Will, because he was being silly when he brought the second team.
Like,
but
that's just
you have to know that. You have to commit to it. Otherwise, please bring protect. It's very, very good.
Protect. Yes.
I do remember David saying he wanted to bring Monograss, and I think Monograss does actually have some thoughts with it, but I think there has to be something a little better than that.
Yeah, there's a certain mushroom that is missing, as well as like other really good grass mons like Meowscarada Protean, which I think kind of makes it a staple with the speed tier, still having Trick Room, Knockoff, U-turn, like everything. It's phenomenal. It was the GOAT of Regulation A.
It really was. Now we don't even see it anymore, but hey.
Now we don't see it anymore because they brought in some dudes who had lots of statisticals. Speaking of statisticals, there's 3 birds, there's 3 genies, there's a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
We're gonna let this one play, and I think you can kind of assume where this one goes.
Yeah, this is a really cool turn 1 by both players. I liked how Will protected his Lando this turn because it's a good move. He didn't know if the Sneasler had Fake Out, but played around it anyways and broke the balloon in the same turn. And that was like, that Tornadus' job is Klefki. It's meant to Tailwind, it's meant to Rain Dance, it's meant to get these Bleakwood Storms and all the other funny Lando moves to actually hit both people 100% accurate. But Will made the turn 1 play of not just going with his game plan and saying, oh, reacting to that mon on the field and just killing it instead.
Assess the threat. And here's another example where you have Protect. Oh, it might have Fake Out. This is probably Covert Cloak on his dude, so he doesn't care about Fake Out. Landorus is a big threat to Mono Poison. You lose nothing by protecting. There's nothing it can do, and then you let the partner deal with it. Exactly. So, and then, no, it's set up. You just click Tailwind, and the car loses a tire.
Blows up, yeah.
Yep.
As for David, I know he wanted to prioritize getting the Landers because it is obviously the... Look at that. That's just gross. It is the biggest threat to the Mono Poison team for sure. But I also don't know why he just sacked his, what was that, Glamora in there. Like, you did still have both of these mons able to take up Liquid Storm to come in. So,
yeah.
You get the pick him up. But unfortunately for David, he gets burned by the 20% burn on the funny ground move that hits in rain at 100% accurate because, you know, Game Freak knows what they're doing.
No, I like Sandseer Storm.
It is pretty cool. It's very cool. Another reason that Lando and doubles, if you're going to run mono ground or flying, should probably be there.
Landorus is the best mon in the game. Use it.
Use it.
If you're going to build a team that is weak to ground, you should have something in mind for the ground types. Yeah, especially the best one. So
whenever I build my teams, I always consider what's the number 1 type that I don't want to fall into, and I still try to build around it anyways in doubles with specifically when I'm running mono poison, I look at mono ground and go, how do I beat Great Tusklanders every single time I make a team?
It's less of like, I think just like a general team building philosophy that I have is it's less like, all right, I want to use like, see this very slow team. I want to have a trick room on Slow King. I want to make that work. Okay, cool. I have my idea. Now, how do I beat the things that are going to absolutely kick my ass? Ground types. And on this team, yeah, there's the balloon on the car, but that's a temporary stop thing.
Yeah,
and without Terra, it's even harder. Because, like, we don't have Crobat and stuff like that. So a lot of the tools aren't there, and, which really sucks, but, got to play around it.
We do have to say thank you, Genies, for pretty much cleaning up that entire game.
Thank you, Genies.
Yeah, thank you, Genies, and I kick you. And we'll move on.
We love Genies.
We do love Genies. I do have to say, I did like David's teams, though. I don't want him going out of this thinking he played his teams or made bad teams, but you do always have to consider the top threats and doubles, monotype. Even when you're going to bring agency or weird teams or bad mons, just like, always check, do I just get 6-0'd?
Yeah. And you do have to hit a certain point where, like, you could be like, yeah, I want to bring all the cool shit. But, like, you got to get to a point where if you're not able to deal with actual good stuff, then it's like you're actively putting yourself and your team as a whole at a disadvantage, which is kind of like what we've been harping on. Like, I'm all for cool shit. Please, continue to innovate and come up with cool ideas, but, like, don't only do that if you can't back it up with cool play. It's like, if you're going to get steamrolled by the best mon, like, it feels bad to watch.
It feels bad, and we have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to see the agents come in and do work. That way I can actually be hyped about it.
Yeah. Instead of being like, this was a really cool idea, but it didn't work. It's hard to have to come up and say that every time. But
don't worry, David. When this season's over, we're going to build some fire teams.
Yes. But here we got some...
building fire teams. Matt, what is this team?
All right, so... I'm in love with Surian Samurai as a concept.
No.
This mon is perfect.
No, you are?
I am. I love this guy.
Oh my god. Hold on a second. I gotta wait. Like, this is a dream. There's no way you love this mon.
I know. So, just to kind of go through like what this team's idea was, I said, all right, I'm gonna get up spikes, and yeah, so that was really it. I wanted to get up spikes, so I needed the best hazard removal support. So I threw on Goldango so nobody could spin or defog without having to play some mind games around it. And then I threw on Glow King because he's like the best mon in the tier. And Zappingtons is Zappingtons. I got a Spinner and Bulky Wall and Tusk to also deal with Gambit. And then I threw on Bax because I love this guy, Big Bolang. And he actually pairs...
big balance team.
Yeah, he pairs super well with Glow King with Chilly Reception, so you come in, you get the defense boost to set up DDs.
Yep, it's really, really good, and I looked at that team and went, oh my god, that team's ridiculous. And then you let Zapdos, and I was kind of confused. What was up with that?
So I kind of looked at everything and said it beats everything that he could possibly beat with.
But assuming that he hits Stone Edge there or whatever, I don't know what. I mean, maybe he hits you with a move, right? And you just lose
if he hits
Zapdos
Ice Spinner, that's fine. Yeah, then it shows me he has Ice Spinner. And that's that. I could deal with it. It's really not the end of the world, and I have Hurricane, so I don't really care about Tusk too much.
Got it. Tusk cutting in, putting up rocks, but losing his entire life for it. It's always a decision you have to make each time you play. But you have seen this team before from Chris, so you kind of knew what you were expecting getting it right in off the bat. It's the same team he brings most weeks, whether it's Scarlet Violet, OU, or Natdex. Chris, I do like the team.
Also, that Focus Blast was crazy.
Huh? Oh yeah, Focus Blast
was super crazy. Cool. Whether that was like forgetting that you could click Make It Rain on Vax.
Yeah. No.
Honestly,
super effective Focus Blast.
Good shit.
Good shit.
When that happened, I was like, oh,
I laughed so hard when
I was kind of like, I was a little flustered. I was like, fuck, hold on.
Yeah. But Boots Zapdos. Turns out Boots is good because Boots...
let me live. Yeah.
Well,
Boots are broken.
But Boots means you're at 82 now and not at 50.
Yeah.
And once again, Zapdos showing that he is going to control the entire field here.
Yes. Zapdos controlled this entire thing.
Yeah. Rochian here needs to hit Leech Seed. I know the Rapid Spin's coming in, so Ruination is a little better damage-wise, but you need to keep this guy healthy. He's the only thing that can handle his Zapdos at this point onward.
I was really just trying to bait Goldango in.
Really?
Yep. That's why I went for knock. I never spun.
Yeah, it's true. You didn't spin.
I was like, all right. And I was like, all right. Well, he's clearly not going to go into it, so I might as well get these things off.
Right.
It's like I don't care about the liquidation. I can live a couple of them.
Now that's also a good knock because you scouted out that it was Chestoberry, and now you know this Dondozo was likely at least a Resto Chesto set, if not a Rest Sleep Talk set.
I figured it was Curse Rest. Like that's what he does. So
yeah.
And again, like I just knew I got to keep Zapdos around, keep him in good health, and that's really it.
I think Goldango goes really hard here. I'm surprised he hit Make It Rain and not Shadow Ball. I feel like Shadow Ball could have done really good at this point. Because now you're locked into Make It Rain on Zapdos.
Yeah, because he's choiced of some kind. And I was like, all right, yeah.
And then he just dies.
And Zapdos kind of, like, he can 1v1 the Goldango, even with the Shadow Ball. And,
but he can't 1v1 Brochan if he's missing his Hurricanes.
Yes.
We were really hyped for Brochan to 1v1 the Zapdos. We were really chatting it up there in the chat.
He could not.
No, that was full special defensive too, which is so funny. He simply can't.
This is no invest special attack.
No, it's Zapdos too. I know, crazy.
Yeah. So.
And unfortunately for Brochan, he didn't get the Leech Seed off. If he had the Leech Seed off, maybe it would have helped.
Dondozo lives with 1 HP.
We love Dondozo living at 1 HP to deal 20 to a Slowbro.
I don't know why I didn't go into backs and just win the game. I
really, really thought you were throwing it at this point. I'm like,
I was at work, so it was around this time I had to like answer calls and shit. So I really wasn't paying attention. But like, I just knew as long as Zapdos was alive, nothing really mattered.
We also weren't sure off the bat what this Dondozo's Terra type was because I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen this team, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, if it's like Terra Fairy Dondozo, like he could win the game.
Yeah.
But it was probably Terra Water. I don't know. But we never saw it because he didn't Terra.
Steel or fighting, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I Terra'd either.
No, you didn't, but you still had 3 Mons.
I mean, Glow King could handle basically anything Dondozo would want to do.
Correct, yes.
With Future Sight and everything, so.
The Future Sight combination, really, really cool. Definitely worth using more, especially on the Psychic Mons.
Like it is literally the best Mon in the tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, very
it's so good right now.
But we got a game 2. And we see Bax lead versus Dragonite lead.
Here is the secret formula, and I just killed him.
Yeah, don't leave your Dragonites in on Bax Calibers. That's it's a big no-no. You got your Dondozo in the back. He can do it.
I knew he's going to do that again.
I know, you really were like...
I was ready for it that time.
I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty safe switch in regardless. He takes the Make It Rain and the Focus Blast pretty well. I don't know why Clockwork Veil is living these hits. You got to tell me.
He kept living everything. It was super annoying. And then missing Cecil's Edge too, which was like, all right, whatever, it's fine.
You get backs in, get your rocks.
And then at this point, I knew his set at this point, and he fucking crit me.
You got to stop getting crit, Matt. It's unacceptable.
I got crit a lot in this set. It was really annoying.
But the early setup with backs means he's probably gonna get thrown away if you bring in any of the faster Mons at this point. I think Scarf Goldango is faster, but don't quote me on that.
It is not.
Then you have to bring in your Dondozo at this point.
Dondozo had to come in. And
you do have to hit your Dondozo. Instead, you sacked your whole team to it, and that's sometimes it's just good to take a moment and think, whoa, hold on, am I faster? Am I able to take hits? He's got ice coverage at least, so don't send in the Wo-Chien and all that. I think Chris just plays a little too fast sometimes. When I see him play, he just goes, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
He's take a moment and just think what's going to be next. Here's funny Terra Water.
I love Terra Water Tusk.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I made this Tusk spread back when Urshifu was in the tier. Because it was like the only thing I could reliably use to beat it was to use Fizdef Tusk and Terra Water.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I could get hazards up and spin and stuff.
Yeah. You can also knock off the punching glove in case something in the back has like Rocky Helmet, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but then at this point, like I knew it's like Glow King can handle this. He doesn't have Earthquake.
Yeah, doesn't have Earthquake. Isn't able to take all the hits. So we get a 48 Aqua Step. Very funny.
Yeah.
And
once again, Glow King, God, we love him.
Good one.
And so we're gonna move on to Sun and Moon. This just happened.
Literally
like
happened
2
hours ago. Yeah, not even.
Yeah. So
wow,
we're gonna.
my Shuckle team that I showed him. No, I'm just. But it's very similar to the circuitry team that I was showing off after my Natex game with Chris.
That's funny because I was not in voice, and Pat had built this team last week.
Yeah, I said, hey, I ran sticky webs with circuitry, and then I look at this this Gen 7.0 Uke team and said, hey, that's sticky webs and circuitry team.
Yeah.
But Hall is a really, really Chad circuitry enjoyer. That's just a good. It's
he
even
said,
better
I want to use the fuck you tree, and I said, all right.
And it's extremely good. People should use it. And Jordan, on the other hand,
I do not agree with that, but
I think it's pretty
I think
good.
circuitry is not good. I really do not think it is very good. But
funny interaction here. We didn't know about the magic guard.
Yeah. I learned a lot there. But like, I don't know. The thing with circuitry is like there are so many other guys you can use that just do what he wants to do better.
Well, hold on. Do they really do what he wants to do better? Tail glow, Z electric? Like, that's his thing.
No, he does Z hypnosis.
Well, that's the other thing. Now, I'm not sure that's the good thing, but hey, that is something. But I think his specific set of I am going to kill you from the special side is, granted, he's not a great mon at doing anything else, but that is his niche.
Yeah, I mean, he has a spot. I just don't think it's good.
Well, probably right.
I don't know. He has a spot. I just don't think it's worth using.
Yeah, I want to actually just talk a little bit about, not about the set, but just the teams in general here. I know Jordan just saw Greninja. We told her Greninja gets protein spikes, and she went, I'm putting that on a team, so she let it right off the bat. But when your opponent has a Shuckle and leads it, and you have a Diancie on the team, and Matt, you're all about this in the past. You have Mega Diancie on your team. Turn one, get that
thing on the field.
Evolve up. Yeah, you want that. You want that magic bounce immediately, so that way your opponent has to play around it. Plus,
for example, like this.
Like this. Oh my god! Oh my god! I did not believe it. I was like, oh, he's gonna die to Thunderbolt, and then Hall hit Z Hypnosis into a magic bounce. And
so when we were in voice, he was like, "Nah, there's no way she's gonna go into Diancie. I'm just gonna let it rip."
Right.
And we're gassing him. It's like, yeah, do it. And then he got rewarded.
He did. Oh, if that hit. If that hit. No, I did not know that the magic bounce back had
and it's still effect. Like.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's hysterical.
Yeah.
And then it died. So thankfully, that happened. And then, Magearnia comes in.
Here comes Magearnia to do its thing.
And do its thing. Yep. Soul Heart moment.
Yeah.
Good set.
So, just saying, like, when Circuitry came in when it did, I think it was a little too premature.
Yeah,
I think that was Magearnia's turn to go in, get the shift gear, break a hole,
and then the wall
clean
breaker
up.
Come in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if looking at the team, there's a special wall breaker, there's the physical wall breaker in Mega Heracross, and there's the cleaner in Magearnia. Yeah. Like that is the triple triad in a sense.
And in hindsight, defogging is not a great idea.
Not a great idea. You needed that speed to be lower.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I really hate running webs teams with defog.
Like, but you have to.
Just can't. I have to commit to rapid spin in my opinion because just you don't. If the webs are off the field, you've basically you're running a 5v6. Your webs mon is useless.
Yeah, it's so hard to fit it though. You know.
I know.
But here's Trick Room.
No, I don't care about hazards. I just don't.
Yeah. You're either winning the game in 10 turns or that's it.
Or you run Mega Diancie and you say I'm just gonna magic bounce it back. Whatever.
Yeah, honestly.
Here's game 2. Also, I think Jordan really wanted to use Zygarde 10%. I don't know if that thing had 1,000 arrows. I really hope it did.
It's the only reason that it should ever be considered
over
Garchomp.
But every time Landers came in on it, it wasn't hitting 1,000 arrows, and I thought, oh, okay, well. Like, I don't know if it's not going to do too much damage, but it is banded, I'm sure. So it would do a good chunk. Looking at game 2, Hall brought a very, very obvious Trick Room team, but oh my gosh, when you lead Uxie, sometimes your brain just goes, that thing's not Trick Room, that thing's going to do other things. And now we watch as Vigavolt is really, 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 really strong.
Yep.
Die.
Yeah. It's like,
it is a special attacker, right? It's a special attacker, if I recall.
Yeah. And it's like base 145 special attack, which is insane.
Yeah. We love Vigavolt. We love Z moves. Yeah. And
like the thing with Reuniclus, right? Like the Calm Mind Acid Arbor set, which I'm assuming that's what this was.
I actually don't know. I think it's just the Calm Mind Psy Shock Recover set with fourth.
No, you gotta run the sauce. Like you gotta just do the
Well,
the
I
stored
do not
powered
use
shit.
CC.
You
I
know?
agree. The Calm Light Acid Armor set with stored power and recover is just way too strong.
I won many games like that before in our season.
Honestly, it's what my Mew could have been. If that was Reuniclus, it probably could have done it better. Just because it can't get toxic. Your status or leech seeded.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem with Jordan's team is it doesn't do well into Crawdaunt.
Nothing
and Greninja
does.
hit
Crawdaunt has no switch-ins. Nothing wants to switch into Crawdaunt moves.
No, absolutely not. Like, this is what Dante should try to do when he runs Crawdaunt, I think. Run it, like, support it around Trick Room teams a bit. And get it to really hit its adaptability moves. However, I do want to say the reason this game was 5-0, maybe not like 3-0, was on the turn that Greninja hit spikes in the Trick Room. Like, you got to be careful with your Protean Mons, because if you turn yourself, you're only water resistant to a ground type. Now there's nothing that can save you.
That
you have to sack a ton of
knockoff
mons.
just one-shot Greninja, by the way. So it's so frail it didn't even matter.
But if you were to, I think, because it was Water Dark, right? Because you do resist it. I think if you were originally that type, and the rocks damage did not come in, I think you did have a chance to live a choice banded knockoff.
I was Life Orb, but I don't know. That's big Crawdaunt.
Yeah, absolutely. But not after the rocks and not after the, not at like, she was at like 80 or something, so.
Yeah. But yeah, here's game 3.
And what is Hall's team?
So, Hall wanted to use Magnezone, and he wanted to use something with Sub.
Okay, I like Magnezone, and I like something with Sub. Those are two great things.
Yeah. So
why is T-Tar here?
So the kind of idea was, all right, you know, we got Magnezone, trapped to Skarmory, trapped to Steels, Altaria kind of goes crazy, and then you get a bulky Pivot Core, clean up with Blisef. Tyranitar.
T-Tar. Everything else fit. Everything else made perfect sense for a team comp, and I just did not understand the T-Tar's purpose.
We needed a rocker.
Okay. Oh, he's a pretty good rocker.
Yeah. That was just the one that he had decided on. I kept pushing him to put Landers on his team. But
now, at Jordan's team, this does kind of look like an Adam team, as you were saying.
This is a very Adam team.
However, it's actually a Jordan team because it's Mega T-Tar. And Mega T-Tar is really strong and is not bad.
Very good.
Not like Mega Garchomp, who is bad. Don't confuse the two.
Yeah. Yeah, Megatar is definitely solid. Also, look at Rotundus Chores living all these moves.
He really did just live that hit. But I do like Jordan's sack here of Lele to get the Hawlucha in. Like, knowing that your game plan is Unburden Psychic Seed, you do have a limited amount of time to have that Unburden. So, or to get the actual, like, you don't want to have to pivot around later to get the Psychic Terrain in, then to get the Unburden. So I really liked that sack there, just to chip away and say, no, here, get this in. And at this point, Hawlucha wins the whole game. We don't know it yet, but we're just assuming, right?
No, you would think.
He misses.
You would think. Yeah.
You would think.
Hey, you know what? You know what I always say? If you don't want to miss, use Karate Chop.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah, such a better move. Totally.
Yeah. So but you won't miss.
Yeah, he does not get CC in Gen 7. We're really sad to find that out. So you do have to rely on 90% accuracy jump kick, which can miss. But it's still, you gotta run it. You gotta commit to it. There was a weird play there where she could have hit Roost and lived the Volt Switch, but then you're playing a 50-50 of whether or not you get Willowed, and you don't want to get burned.
No, because Hawlucha is not that strong without the +2.
Right.
He only has like base 90 attack.
Yeah, getting the sweep in was the right play. Also, Rotundo living a discharge here. Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah, we love that.
But yeah, as I was saying, you do just commit to the sweep. It's unfortunate that it missed, but hey, it is what it is. Now, this was interesting on Hall's part here. I'm surprised he sacked the Rotom with the T-Tar left in the bag still. I'm like, you do have a Tangrowth, I think, that can come in pretty freely on that.
Not on Zap.
Or sorry, you have a T-Tar, my apologies. But I guess he doesn't want to set up the sand for Extra Drill yet.
Yeah, he's been traumatized with that before.
Yeah, and also, big shout-outs to Mega Altaria. This mon is good. I thought it had Roost. Did it not have Roost on this set?
I thought it did.
Because, like, DD Return Earthquake Roost makes perfect sense for
That's what
Mega
it should
Altaria.
be.
Yeah, but then not seeing Roost here, like, against the Zapdos to get back up to, +2 DD speed or whatever, like, that blew my mind.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And then a big turn by Jordan to switch in the Extra Drill here to be able to get enough damage on turn 19. I thought the game was over.
Yeah,
but
she made the good play. Like, in hindsight, like, you obviously Earthquake, Like that's
What?
you have to, because 51%,
Wait,
like
what?
you run the calc at +1, that kills.
I don't know, man. That's not just regular T-Tar, that's mega.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like,
But and then even then, like, you know, with just one thing that comes with like knowledge of the tier, like one of the standard sets for Excadrill is Z.
Yes.
Like I would just been like, goodbye Tyranitar, let me get out of there, and then, you know, kind of pull this out with String Cheese Man.
Yeah, when I didn't see the leftovers on the Excadrill or the Life Orb from, or I guess not Life Orb, but I didn't see the leftovers, right? You don't run late game Focus Sash Excadrill, so it either has to be Life Orb or Z move, and both of these things do a lot of damage to Tangrowth.
Yeah.
But specifically the Z move wins the game. So I think checking it into the T-Tar,
just to throw it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but what if it's SD? Now you're like, there's a lot of
that's the other thing too. So.
Yeah. So I mean, Hall did make the right play by getting, by just, I guess, I mean, if he hit Earthquake, this game was over, right? But playing it on this way afterwards, like seeing the 69% from Corkscrew Crash, he knows he can live any hit afterwards. So I do get staying in, but he gets finished.
Also run calcs, because AV Tangrowth runs Earthquake. Earthquake might have killed.
Oh, did he actually have Earthquake?
Yeah. It's
you probably should have Earthquake.
It's Giga Drain, EQ, Sludge Bomb, and then one of the hidden powers. I don't remember which one.
Probably Fire for Ferrothorn.
It's either Fire or Ice, yeah.
Yeah, Fire.
And then like I think Tangrowth probably could have pulled this game out if it didn't get flinched.
Oh, of course, but then we can say Hawlucha wins the game if it doesn't miss a high jump.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of evens out there.
And then he comes in, and we get a damage roll here, or 32%, not a damage roll.
Yeah, see, there's the Earthquake.
And there's the Earthquake. You're right. Yeah, that's a tough one. You probably should hit it. I mean, we say the calculator's a crutch, but sometimes it is.
No,
good to
use the
check every
calc.
once in a while.
You don't become a better person if you don't calc. No, run the calcs, run the numbers. Just be sure. So put yourself in the best position at all times.
Yeah, and it's very nice, especially in tiers where it's new. You don't know a lot of like common mons. At least checking a mon, at least not even going to a calc, but just typing the mon's name into the chat, looking at its standard sets for the gen, and just saying, oh, this is what it can do. Also, is pretty helpful.
Yeah.
Here's Gen 4 early. We've hit our main event.
It's time for the main event. Corey is at his parents' house and does not have Wi-Fi, so I filled in while I was at work today.
I'll go be depressed in the
I played
corner
both my sets at work, so that's cool.
You were really gaming, and that is what we love to see.
Yeah.
Now, I did not know much about your teams coming into this. You're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
I did get a handle on both of JT's teams he brought this week, so I can't explain anything, at least for his end.
Cool. All right, so we'll start the lead. I got Cosmo, Alakazam, and he's got Skarmory. So you might be wondering, why the fuck is Alakazam here? That's a great question.
I'm not wondering.
I love this guy. Is he good? Absolutely not. Not in this tier. This is not a very hospitable environment to most psychic types. However,
I'm not going to listen to Matt. You guys, everyone listening right now, do not listen to Matt.
No. Listen, I only spit the truth. I've been messing around with this team for a while. I built it a couple weeks ago, and Alakazam has never done much of anything. Because originally he was like Life Orb with Encore, and I didn't like it, so I kind of shifted things around. So now he's the lead. So here's Skarmory. You think lead Skarmory? It's, Sash with hazards. Sometimes you see Lum for like Breloom and stuff, so you could eat the Spore and then Brave Bird back. Or Scarf, which is we'll talk about another time. But
no, Skarmory isn't real. He can't hurt me.
Yeah,
I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, so I just go for Focus Blast because I don't really have anything else to do. And if he wants to lock into
no Encore, right?
Yeah, so if he wants to go for like rocks or literally anything, I can Encore him in. He goes for Drill Peck, which you don't really see. Usually, like if you do like a lead with Skarm, like if you're doing Sash, like having the Brave Bird recoil take you out is honestly super nice.
Good, actually.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
However, this Skarmory, I believe, is an offensive Drill Peck based Skarm. You still run all the standard Skarm stuff, but you put Drill Peck on the fourth and run I think you run some attack EVs on it.
I was gonna say, if that was max attack, I think I would have taken a lot more than 60%.
It's not a lot. I'm not gonna be. It's not. You're not fully invested. That's for sure. But it's It's something to deal with Breloom, if I remember correctly, like lead Breloom.
So
But
no
it gets
Breloom.
pushed off by
Yeah,
Focus
still.
Blast because it is a physical
So
wall.
because I hit Focus Blast, and that makes me a good player.
I just don't know why the Skarmory didn't switch out after turn 1. Like I know you don't see it yet, but there's still a Ghost Rotom in the back. That's fine with taking a Focus Blast. You can't afford to hit Psychic in the Skarmory because you die.
Yeah. So I think it's very interesting that JT was willing to give me his Skarmory on the Crux that I missed Focus Blast, which is fine. That's a reasonable strategy at the end of a game. Not on turn 1, turn 2.
Yeah. And
That's
he says
like
while hitting both, it's still like a 55%. It is more likely than not.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are technically in my favor.
Probably.
But like, I don't know. Skarmory's too important, even if you get one spike up later.
Yeah.
And
just as a field pipe, like, oh my gosh, that's so big. And Swampert's on the side of the field too.
Yeah.
Special Swampert doesn't want to take, it's supposed to take a little bit of time to break down a Skarmory.
Yeah, so I actually went into Zam predicting rocks.
Oh, that's funny. And he missed the Hydro Pump.
And he did miss the Hydro Pump. I kind of forgot about this, actually. So that was a pretty big dodge. And I was like, oh, Special Swampert, that's interesting. So I'm just like, fuck it, it's free Psychic time. And here comes, him.
Free Psychic time, yeah.
And, I'm like, you know what? Cosmo is done. He's done his job. I'll hit Focus Blast. It lived. So this is a pretty bulky Tyranitar, and it has sub.
This was Tyrannoboa. And I
Sub
really
punch.
do not. What's up?
Yeah, Sub Punch.
Yeah. I don't know why they call it Tyrannoboa, but that's some old terminology.
It's an old Smogon player. Yeah.
Yeah. But for some reason, he does sub on the Alakazam, and I get it. You're thinking he's going to switch out. But at the same time, what if you're wrong? You die.
JT later said that he just expected me to miss Focus Blast, which that's not a strategy.
Not a strategy.
You can't complain about luck if you're like, oh, he'll miss his move and I'll be fine. No, that's a bad decision.
This is not trying to hit Fissure in Gen 9 doubles. All right, this is hitting a 70% move. This
and
is
then
way
I have
and
Encore to lock him into sub. So going for sub was just kind of a waste of time. So now I could just kind of throw off moves.
Yeah, I like sub T-Tar on a Mon. Like if you're running the sub T-Tar, you do on a Mon that can't hit you with a 4-time super effective move. Because even if you're wrong, you can still make the sub.
Yeah, you gotta come in on like
Focus Blast. You've literally seen it.
Yeah, you have to come in on something like a Choice Lock Tyranitar, something like that, so that you could get a free sub. Like something that's locked into Crunch, you can sub and then you're good.
Sub punch Mon. That's true for Breloom.
Yep.
That's true for T-Tar. That's true for Pikachu.
Yeah.
That is when we do subs, but subs, that was not the right time.
Yeah.
And now he's lost one third of his team to a Focus Blasting Alakazam that's supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Beating its counter.
Yeah, literally. So you can't play around, the moves missing. It's like, it's not a viable thing to do. It's just, something, if it happens, it's like, it makes your life easier.
Yeah.
But so
is here to take on the Rotom. Now this is a certified Diamond Pearl Platinum moment.
Yes. So obviously I'm just gonna pursue him out. He can't do anything. That crit didn't matter.
I'm not sure that crit didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Scarf Rotom always dies to Pursuit T-Tar.
Yeah.
Probably. Now I get switching out there because if it's DD T-Tar and you stay in, you lose the game. So losing the Rotom is better than losing the game.
No, he needs the Rotom. Like he doesn't know enough on my team.
Yeah.
So.
I love this Swampert set, by the way. I've never run it because I've been a coward.
Yeah, so I did not run the damage. I like Spec Swampert. I think it's funny. I thought this was Specs. I assumed it was Specs, and you know what they say about assumptions? You get HP Electric, and you look like an ass.
This was nobody has run HP Electric Swampert. I had to convince JT to put it on his team. And, well, first of all, I didn't convince him. He definitely agreed to it. But we said... He was originally running that as a Focus Punch Swampert for Blissey. I said, you don't want that.
You don't need two Focus Punchers.
I looked at his team and I said, your team deals with Blissey just fine. You need to deal with Gyarados. Put HP Electric on it instead.
Yeah, 100%.
Even Wakanberry. Yes, Wakanberry does take the hit. Can't take
But it's not like, and then you get it with a +1 Waterfall, but you should live that.
You should live that.
And then you have Flygon to revenge kill if Swampert does go down. It's not the end of the world.
Exactly. So HP Electric, good play. It's not common. You don't see that every day.
No. Special Swampert by itself is not common, so it's cool.
Calculating that it wasn't Specs, though, could have led you to the assumption that it was.
If I had if I had run the calc, I would have known he had HP Electric.
Right.
So
Well,
that one's
no,
on me. I lose my Gara, but it's really
it's not even on the standard set. I promise.
yeah. So
it is. It's just not. But yeah, now we're going into Flagon on Breloom. I didn't get this. I think maybe he thought you were sub punch right off the bat and wanted to U-turn your sub away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, sure, I get it. You don't know what he is. But, like, I could throw off a...
Oh, wait, no, never mind. I remember his last mon. No, this is his only play. If it was Fire Blast Flagon, this makes sense. Because
yeah, I was so afraid of this thing being mixed that I was like, fuck, if Breloom dies, I'm in trouble. I can't be Swampert.
Yeah, exactly.
And he goes for a U-turn, and he gives me Tyranitar, which is fine, because he was useless.
Yeah. Now, because you just saw how much he dealt from U-turn, before you bring in Lucario, check to see if you can kill it with a close combat, because this is your cleaner now.
Yeah, this is what you got.
Yeah, and you can assume that Flagon can... I don't know if he can take a hit.
Even if Flagon just clicks Outrage and it doesn't kill, Lucario can come in and revenge kill.
Yeah, then Lucario comes in, hits close combat 4 times and wins the game. Now, granted, if you have Mach Punch and
I still have Swampert, so he can't really do that.
What's up?
I still have Swampert at 93%, so he can't do that.
It is always hard to figure out what Breloom is, but now we've seen 3 of his moves, right? You've seen Spore, you've seen Sword Stance, you've seen Seed Bomb. You know he's got to either have Superpower or Mach Punch.
Man, I wish I had Mach Punch.
It is... What's up?
I wish I had Mach Punch.
Oh, everyone wishes they had Mach Punch, but at the end of the day... 4 move slot syndrome with Breloom, and you can't figure it out.
So that crit sucked.
Yeah, it did. But the Swampert on the other side is asleep, so like.
Yeah. Yeah. So right here, I was literally like, all right, this thing can't wake up. I need to explode because Magnezone doesn't do anything at this point.
Actually, if he just hit Earth Power on the turn that woke up, did he just win the game? Like if he woke up on the switch in turn, which he could have.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why run Magnezone if you're not going to run HP like Grass? What's it? Oh, I guess it's running HP Fire.
It is HP Fire. That crit mattered.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It is Scarf Flag, not banded.
Yeah, so it definitely mattered. And then that didn't kill. And then I thought I was going to get crit right here and lose. That would have been super bad. But you know, Swampert comes through. Which again, if you played Lucario a little different, then
I just think earlier on, if you played around the Alakazam a little better, this game goes the other way. But it is what it is. Or even if just having a layer of spikes up mattered to get that Breloom killed on the close combat. Like, you lead Skarm for a reason. You get that, you get the spikes.
Yeah.
You're running spikes for a reason.
You got to get them up. Because you have to facilitate. You have to facilitate Lucario.
Yeah. But it was a close game, and a good reason not to give up even if you misplay at the beginning. You still can even maybe luck your way a little bit into it.
Yeah, that end game going the way it did really overshadowed the fact that I got goobed by that Swampert.
Yeah.
And I think that one gets kind of lost in, like, you look at the replay, like, losing Gara,
which is the only Swampert
that was really huge. So
I mean, Breloom is there, but he's not there forever.
Yeah.
Now game 2. What was game 2? Did he bring this? He did not bring the same.
All right, so game 2, we got Gallade, we got Skarmory.
Oh yeah. This is that is anti-lead Gallade. I forgot about that. That is no taunt, no encore, no funny Gardevoir moves. That is 4 attacks Gallade with Shadow Sneak and like Fire Punch. I want to say close combat Zen Headbutt, maybe Ice Punch instead of Fire Punch. So he's seeing Skarmory and going, I don't have taunt. This sucks.
Yeah.
But you're not a regular Skarmory.
No, I'm not Skarmory. No, I'm Scarf.
No.
So I see this and I go, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
So I'm gonna click the move. So here comes Heatran. It's like, all right, whatever, it's fine. I could still bluff it. You gotta see, like, lead. I get lucky there. It's like, ooh, I can bluff.
Is so uncommon.
Yeah, I can bluff the Sash still because there's no lefties. I can bluff the Shed Shell. I can bluff Lum. Like, I can bluff a lot of things, which is cool.
You can bluff a lot of items for sure, absolutely. But you can't bluff that damage.
Yeah.
I assume you were max attack. You weren't completely crazy.
I'm pretty sure I was just max.
Yeah. And that is something that you do got to realize when you're seeing a Skarmory, because as weird as Skarmory is, seeing the rise of Talonflame in future generations has actually kind of brought Skarmory into the conversation for Gen 3 and Gen 4. Or sorry, just Gen 3. Gen 4. I can't talk about Gen 3. Gen 3 is banded Skarmory. We can talk about that another day.
Yeah.
But Gen 4 bringing Scarf Armory is kind of like weirdly
it's been
not
picking
bad.
up in popularity. Like this team, this is a team that got top 5 on ladder. I forget who had it. I can pull it up on the side just as we go.
And
but
this
here's
is kind of Skarmory
just getting back to the game. So here's SD Gliscor. So kind of how I've played this game is I don't really have a good Heatran switch in because I don't want to throw Swampert in.
You sub your T-Tar, which is fine, but Lava Plume really puts a lot of time.
So it's like you don't want to sub, you don't want to sub him in at all. But I also kind of figured, if he gets up his rocks, that's fine. But he really wanted Skarm to go down, which is fine. So I bring in old Pert here, and I just got to get rid of Gliscor because he is an issue.
I don't like SDing with Gliscor and then sacking him immediately when it's so early. Like, sure, you revealed your SD, but man, he goes so hard late game. Like, let him cook for a bit. Granted, it doesn't look like there's a good Swampert switching on this team yet. Nothing on the team. Maybe because Gallade can't hit it, right?
Yeah.
So Rose Raid is not. Not it
I'm seeing a lot of JT's just clicking the damage move.
Yeah.
There's so many times where it's like, how come Heatran didn't set up rocks? It's like, why didn't Rose Raid just spike or T-spike if it had it? It's like, obviously I'm getting my Swampert out of there. I need that thing.
After seeing the team so far, Swampert's pretty good.
Yeah. Even like, you've seen that my initial switch into Heatran is Tyranitar. I don't have a lot for Tran.
It also would not have been a bad turn to double switch out, even though you are behind him on, because Skarmory is probably the freest switch into Rose Raid I've ever seen. Even a Specs HP Fire, you're probably fine.
Yep.
So, like, double switching to Heatran on that turn would have been pretty good. And then he gets Brave Bird again. Staying in? Like, even if you are faster, he's got Brave Bird. He's going to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, even so, it's like, he's showing to me he's slow.
Yeah. Well, the Black Sludge alone probably shows that.
Yeah. Which it does. But at the same time, it's like, are you faster than 262? Because, like, if I'm him, something should be going off. Because, like, Skarmory doesn't move that fast. And look at all that recoil. Yep. And then here comes Gallade. Again, why didn't you go into Heatran?
Even so, what is Gallade going to do? I'm not even sure Gallade kills that thing. That is Skarmory. That is like, if you're still thinking that's physically defensive Skarmory, or at least specially defensive Skarmory, like, you're still thinking that? Yeah. Like, I don't know if the CC kills at 50. I play a lot of fighting types. I use Machampa a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I can kill that thing at 50.
Yeah, so now he's getting the rocks up.
Yeah, but now he's got his rocks up at the cost of 3 mons, and that's, sometimes you gotta threat assess just a little quicker than that. However, Skarmory comes in, and that's a pretty cool defensive combination with Heatran. I do like the Heatran Starmie and
it's funny. JT, his team is literally the one that I used against him. Like, it's the same concept with Scarf Skarmory, Spadef, Rocks, Heatran, and SD Gliscor.
That's so funny. I don't even think we realized that when making it. I okayed the team because I was a big fan of the Heatran Gliscor Starmie combo. So that's just your thinking getting to us. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I keep saying, like, it jokingly, like, I'll do one thing. It's like, I've ran DD Tar my first DPP week, and you guys spam DD Tar for the next few weeks. Yeah. And then I brought out Breloom and Gliscor a ton, and now you guys use them a lot too. It's kind of funny.
Well, I think people really didn't understand that Gliscor was that good at first. Because when we were making a lot of teams early on, we're looking at Gliscor and going, 4 times Ice Weakness next, Oh, he doesn't resist Draco Meteor from Latias next, which we haven't even seen Latias.
There's no Latias in this set, yeah.
No Jirachi either, like, cool. But, like, it is funny that I think you are leading the pack in terms of fun and unique sets for DPP. And that's probably just because you have like 600 of them and you know where to look for them.
I spent way too much time building.
Yeah. So we're all definitely on a little bit of the back foot here, which is why we were really hyped when JT won like 3 weeks ago against you.
Yeah, after that.
But it is cool to see all this technology coming out, like Scarf Skarmory, and you getting this Rotom Heat here too. What is this defensive Rotom Heat with this?
This is Resto. It's actually Lumberry. Just to kind of like take a spore from Breloom, and it's faster than that. I think I misplayed. I misplayed with Rotom here. I should not have been trying to get the pair on Heatran.
Oh yeah.
No, I do not think it was a good idea.
You know it's Scarf Starmie and special defensive Heatran. How much could you be misplaying?
I needed one little switch in because I could take one surf.
Yeah.
And I needed that, and I didn't really have that option. Because it's like now I'm going into Pert, and it's like I could have done that forever ago, and I lost my Lumberry. I got burned.
And you're a special attacking person. You don't even care about this burn that much.
I am Earthquake. I'm the tank set.
You're the mix set?
I like tank Pert. It's very good.
Oh, yeah, of course it's good. Yeah, you don't want to.
So, here's Lucario.
You've run Lucario almost every single time, at least on one team. I've never seen so much Lucario usage from you, but I see why.
It's very good. And this is Scarf. There's a triple Scarf team. Again, I didn't make this team. This is an
Tyranitar and
Tyranitar, Skarmory, and Lucario.
Oh yeah, Skarmory, duh.
I was really thinking about clicking Copycat and hitting Earthbower. Because it would have been hilarious.
Yeah, you're still a Copycat Lucario from me now.
That's fine. So, I thought about it, and I was like, nah.
Well, actually, his special attack isn't bad. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But
that crate was so bad, dude.
Was it?
Yeah.
Can Lucario not take a surf?
Not really. Not well.
I mean, it's like 94% or whatever, and then you just hit Night Slash, assuming you have it, or
and
whatever.
It's like, and then here's Scizor, and it's like, fuck. Now I get Pursuited out, and it's like I can't. Yeah. Like I don't have my switch-ins to Starmie anymore, because like look at how my team is kind of beat up. Like it just clicks Surf for free repeatedly.
But you do have E-Speed, or no, you don't.
No, I don't. I'm Scarf, yeah.
The only thing I can say is that looking at it from your perspective, and this is also pretty good about why you sometimes have like, I know the Rotom Misplay may look bad earlier on, but you didn't know who was in the back.
Yeah.
But you also do have the Mon advantage. You know he's Scarfed and he's likely banded at this point because he just hit U-turn instead of
as soon as I see U-turn on Scizor, I'm like, okay, you're banded.
Yeah, so now you can afford to play the sacking game here where T-Tar takes a hit, kills the Starmie, right?
Yeah.
And since Scizor cannot set up, there was literally just not enough mon or time left for him to be able to kill Lucario.
Yeah.
So
I want to see what he locks into, which obviously Bullet Punch.
No reason to switch out there. Absolutely not.
I did not think it was going to do 41%.
Oh man, Scizor goes so hard, but
it's so strong.
Yeah.
So and then looking at it, it's like, oh, if he Bullet Punches me, Sack Rose.
Yeah, maybe a Crit Bullet Punch wins the game, but like
it does win the game.
Yeah. But at the same time, it didn't, and we see another close combat come in, and he's dead.
Yeah.
And it was a good set. A good, very close sets. But another reason that I think we all really enjoy DPP is we get to see a lot of, as the teams roll out, you don't see the teams right at the team preview, right? We get to see the strategies and the thinking processes change throughout the set, and you, even though you may not have thought you played that one perfectly, you still adapted to the end game and got pretty much a guaranteed win con outside of a crate, so...
Yeah, I mean, I had to position that end game just because, like, if Starmie didn't get, or Rose didn't get crit when it did, like, I wouldn't have been, just like, kind of having to crutch on the Lucario to pull it out.
Right.
Like, I could have been completely different. And I was hoping deep down that it was Specs and not Scarf, so that Tyranitar could outspeed, but I knew better.
I do think it's neat that everyone's hating on Rose, but y'all gotta give it a try someday with make a T-Spikes team. I know we've never done it yet. No one's even attempted it yet, but we've all been running Rose. Like, what's going on here?
That's funny. It's very good at T. I just like Spikes more.
Or Spikes. I mean, Spikes is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you look at my team, it's like T-Spikes, it'll do anything.
No, but regular Spikes, that Lucario is dead. And like we hit
sure.
Energy Ball like 12 turns ago or something into a Swampert. If that was Spikes, that whole game's different.
Yep.
Or actually, the game is over.
The game is done. Yep.
Yeah, there's no spinner on this team, so like that, entry hazard's up. But yeah,
it's just one of those situations where, sometimes don't click the damage move. Think ahead. And getting up the spike was a think ahead.
I do like both teams that JT brought. He's really, really getting a handle of how he wants to DPP build, and he's still trying not to fall into I'm just going to make a team that everyone expects because I'm making a JT team. Like, he's trying to mix it up, too, and I do like it. But, even at the end of the day, thinking a few turns ahead for everybody will generally get you much more success.
Yeah.
And that's it for this week. We ended on a good DPP note. You showed off some cool tech.
We got some dudes there.
Very good sets. We had some very one-sided sets. Yeah. But now with the final 2 weeks coming up, unfortunately, I think this will be the last PR for me. I hope you get a lovely special guest or two.
Yeah,
or
I will.
the future
I'll
ones.
get a nice guest. We'll see who it ends up being, but it'll be a good time. As always, continue to make teams that don't lose to Rotom Wash. Don't use Gallade, and always run calcs and limit the agency when appropriate.
Absolutely. Yeah, please give me some cool fire sauce to see while I'm off for the next 2 weeks, guys. I want to see the coolest things that work.
That's a key word.
Or you can run Pikachu with a hat. It's really up to you.
Who's to say, truly? But option 1 is preferred for our sanity.
Oh, yeah.